strong side. So how we get into the strong side, we're getting this overhand hook and our head on the other side. This is the attacking hand. We're gonna stab the chest and then cover. It's attacking hand, attack and grab. Whatever you want to call it. Stab and cover. So we have this, and now we're gonna fall to this overhook side. We're overhooking the shoulder, where we're underhooking this side. Right? As we have this in here, we're keeping our elbows, because we're actually controlling with our elbows. We're not controlling with our hand, but we're cinching our elbows in, and we control his movement. Really, if we're gonna have one thing in this, we want to have the control of this shoulder and the control of this side with this elbow. This elbow controls the turning from going that way, and this one, my right one, prevents him from turning to my left, right? So a lot of times this is direct control, meaning I'm directly controlling his body here. Typically when I'm gonna fall, I'm gonna throw, at least get one hook in, right? And as we fall, his shoulder is trapped, and what he wants to do, this dummy wants to do, is he wants to turn his body, and he wants to break the alignment. Because right now, having my chest against his back, we're basically in parallel lines. I'm just off a little bit. What he ultimately wants to do is either break it, get in this way, which is then dangerous for arm bars. He's safest going this way, getting his back to the mat here and peeling off. Then he can hop his foot and then he's out. And then I have to do something else, right? So having this overhook and this harness, the seat belt, and one leg and one hook trapped in, there's some housekeeping we want to get. Sometimes when we get on the back and we're scrambling, we could have this, and maybe we can get this hook in here, or we have this thing. He turns in here, we get our knee in, and we get this hook in. Sometimes when we're in here, we're up too high. We want to have our ear against their cheek, like we're making out, kind of like, whoo. But to be crunched over like this is not ideal, because it messes up my posture, right? Posture, base, and structure make up alignment. And when I'm leaning forward, it takes me out of my alignment. My posture is bad. The structure of my spine, that's all bad. So what I want to do is I want to move myself down. So from here, I'm in my harness, my elbows are pinched. I'm going to use, there's two different ways to use my leg and momentum. Momentum can, a chop like this can bring me up, and momentum driving down like this can help bring my body down, right? So if I'm up high, this is too high for me to work back control. He's scooching down. So what I want to do is I want to bring him back up to where his middle, like his rhomboids, are on my sternum. So I'm going to take my foot and I'm going to kick down like a donkey kick, right? So kick down and pull it and lift up. So you kind of shrug a little bit. And now I'm in the right nice spot. Now what I ultimately want to do is get this hook in, right? But he's turning his leg over, preventing it in. He's pulling his leg up. So what I want to do is kind of a bit of like a half guard of the hip. And I'm going to lock here. Now what you have to do is your bottom foot has to lock the outside of your top foot, not the inside. Because now you really don't have a very good pinching motion or clamping motion. So you want to get this nice clamp over his top glute. And you're going to get this in here and then clamp down. So squeeze in. The Suzanne Sommer's Thigh Master. So we have this in here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to arch back, right? And you don't get to see the movement too much with the dummy because, well, he's a dummy. So we're going to arch back. I know dummies have feelings too. He's starting a dummy union. So we're going to arch back, get this foot in. Now we have two hooks and we have points, right? Head's here. The next thing we want to do is, you need to remember is, If he's not defending his neck, we're choking. Right? This is the choking side, because this hand is free. Once we have the hand here, we try to bury that as far as we can. The palm to the back of the hand, elbow over his shoulder, other elbow over his shoulder, and a lot of people will compress and push the head into it. You know, they'll take this hand and push it in, but you can take this and just do a little bit of a turn, right? So if he's not protecting his neck, you're attacking it. But he is protecting his neck. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this inside hand, this underhook hand, and open his collar, flip it over, and feed our left hand in, our right hand in. So we're gonna flip this open and feed our right hand in. And it can go directly across. It doesn't have to get too deep in here for right now, because we need to have some movement in the collar for when we come up. All right? So we're working a triple threat choke. And they're essentially the same choke. Getting into this is kind of like a bow and arrow as we're getting into this. So we grab this collar here and we reach for this other side. Now we have like a sliding choke. You've seen those sliding chokes where you get in here. You could get that one. It could be a quadruple threat if you want. At any rate, we're in here. I'm holding this so I can control his turning. Top hand is controlling his turning from turning into me, and my bottom hand is turning, so he's preventing him from turning away from me. So now what I'm gonna do is I still have this hook. I'm gonna take my other foot now. Instead of doing this kicking motion to bring us down to adjust this way, I want to come up to my elbow. I want to come up to my right elbow. So I'm gonna use this choppy motion. And I do the quickest distance from 2 points is a straight line, right? Well, if I do this, I create a big C in here, and then I want to still get it in the same spot. Well, that allows him to pop his head underneath. So what I want to do is, as I chop, I'm going to pull my elbow from point A to point B, nice straight line, right? So I kick, I chop, and I pull this in here. And here, I'll speed up a little bit to get my shoulder behind his head. I'm controlling the turning motion, and now I'm going to do is like a fishing motion, like if you're fishing, if you're casting. So you're going to cast in here, push your shoulder in the back, and try to get this choke. May get it, may not. All right. The next choke that comes from in here is you're in here, they hop over your leg. You don't care because you still have the upper body control, which is where it's at. Right. From here, you're going to post, and you're going to slide your knee up like you're going to do a chair sit. But now you're going to draw them onto your body, and you're going to do that same choke again. You're going to cast, put more pressure into them. They may be moving around where you can't get this one. The third one in the choke is to step over, sit to your butt from your right to left. And as you're rolling, you'll trap the shoulder, and now you'll have essentially a sliding choke. You'll have a sliding choke in here. Or if you lose that, you grab down here, the bow and arrow. Or you have the modified bow and arrow. Or you have the donkey kick. All right, so let me run through that again. Just those chokes. So we have the stab, cover. I get one hook in, we fall to the overhook side, overhooking the shoulder. Here, maybe I'm up too high. I need to adjust. So I squeeze my arms, I get my foot ready up high, and I'm just going to donkey kick down. Donkey kick down and shrug. So as I donk, I shrug. Right? Now I go to get this in, this hook, but he pulls his leg up high. So I'm going to clamp over his top glute, kind of outside thigh, and hug it, and then close up a guard around it. And then take my legs and squeeze. From here, I'm going to arch back. In here, arch. Put my hook in, and now I got my two hooks. Right? So from in here, again, if he's not defending, I'm choking. Taking this hand all the way behind, palm on the back, rear naked choke, cover the shoulder, squeeze. This, if he defends that, putting his neck down, I'm going to take from here. I'm going to open up his gi, a little gift, feed it to my right hand. Good. My left hand is going to go looking for his right side, like a sliding choke. From here, I'm gonna kick. So this is the triple threat choke. So I'm gonna chop, come up to my elbow, right? Get up a little bit here. I'm gonna pull down like a sliding choke, and then I'm gonna cast my hand, cast like I'm fishing, and get that choke. Now, as I'm doing this, this person jumps over my hook. It's on, but it's not really on. All I have to do is straighten their right leg, go over it. So now from here, I'm gonna post my left foot, slide my knee up behind their head, and now I'm gonna sit this position in here. So they move around and do that same choke. I'm gonna cast, put pressure with my shoulder in the back of their head. They're still fighting this. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step over into a chair sit. And from here, I don't wanna just roll over my back leg. I'm in here because then I fall backwards, right in here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna windshield wiper my leg out, and then my butt is gonna fall into that hole right in here, and it comes over. Right? So, I mean, there are a lot of people who will get in this position here, and they'll have this, right? This little pillow. But if they kind of push into you, then you roll back. Here you can still drive into them, right? You can still drive. And if you do this, you roll over. You can get this out, but now you're kind of at a weird angle trying to get this over. And again, it may work for you. It's just another option, not right or wrong. So I'm in here, put this out, and then I'm gonna fall in this hole. Maybe you don't have this flexibility, so you need to do the other way, right? And then I fall over, this comes out, and I got this choke, right? That's a sliding choke. You can cross your feet if you want. You can take this foot, drive to the other hip, reach down, grab pants, get the bow and arrow. Modify what you put in the bow and arrow, boom. Or you get this leg over the head, turn to the side, and kick and pull, donkey kick. All right. The next thing I want to show is just kind of a belly down. You're on the back. You're on the back, and you have your harness. You fall to the overhook side, right? You're up high, donkey kick, pull up. Clamp the hip, up the hip, arch, foot in. Right? Now we have our feet in, but he starts to fight the hands, right? Now we just do like we did in volume 3 where we work the weak side. Volume 4 we're gonna work the strong side or the overhook side. But the same progression. We're gonna peel this off, and we can just kind of peel that by bringing it in here. He's kind of holding our hand. We're just gonna peel this off, and then we're gonna punch this down, and pass it to the other hand. Again, see this big bulb? I'm just gonna grab it right at the pulse line of the wrist, like where you see the band on my hand, and here. I'm just gonna hold this down right here. So once I have this here, I want to get his elbow off the ground because I want to roll him over to his belly. He can use that as a wedge to prevent me from rolling him. So I'm just going to pull this up so there's space underneath in here, right? So right now I don't care too much about this hand. I'm going to pull this. I'm going to pull this hand, keep my feet in here, pull, and then I'm going to bring my hand out here and kick up. Right? So you don't have to kick up in here. You can pull this, come up in here. From here, you're going to bridge into him and turn him over to his belly. All right. So from here, you come up to your hand. You're here. I would come up to your hand at this point, and here, and then push, bridge over. Boom. So now you have a belly down. This is a really compromising position for them, right? You could fall right on their hand, and you're gonna bridge into them here, put a lot of pressure into the lower back. From here, you'll have extra weight. You'll take your right hand, slide it underneath, and then here's where you can get your one arm rear naked choke. And grabbing the shoulder and closing your elbow to your right hip, If you want, you can get your choke in here. A lot of old OG grapplers finish fights this way, right? Boom. Otherwise, you have this hand here, and maybe you go to get this hand in, and you're taking that little thumb motion, and you're trying to drive in, and it's not working. What you do is you can post in here, kick. You're going to kick. Whatever. Right now, I'm going to kick the leg, my right leg. Boom, donkey kick out, and bring that all the way up. And as I do that, I kind of get into this technical mount in here. A little bit version of the of a gift wrapped, but it's under his arm. As I'm here, now I'm gonna go back to fighting to get this choke or get this collar. If I get the collar, you know, now I have that whole series in here, but most likely this hand's gonna come. I intercept that hand and I pull that tight. I can windshield wiper out, fall, trap the shoulder. I got this crucifix, or I got the shoulder stop, right? And from here I trap the left hand, flash the blade, here. And now I turn over, here, arm bar. So here, up, trap, get the foot in, he's fighting my hands, peel, punch, pass, pull. And from here, let's keep this in, I'll pull his head up. When his head comes up, I bring it up high, and then my elbow in my hand. And I'll bridge in, turn him over to his belly. Go for the first choke in here, good, you got it. Boom. All right, that's not working. You're getting this, you're not getting any traction. Post, donkey kick. So you're gonna do like a little back kick. Slide that knee all the way up. Pull that arm so it comes up in here. Go to get this choke in here, intercept the hand. Windshield wiper. If you want, you can fall to your butt. That's easier, it doesn't make a difference. You can trap that foot, stop it down. Trap that arm, stop it down. And then from here, it's whatever finishes you want to do. Maybe he hops over his foot. And we got this. So now I'll get in here. Reach down, grab the hand. Reach over.